permission for it, let me know. We should be good. Coach, you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, Dash, go ahead.
All right, Coach. I guess you probably had a little bit of an idea that the bats would probably kind of break out a little bit tonight, and they obviously did. But for guys like Garrett, who scuffled to start the year to get a couple of home runs, some other fellas in the lineup too, maybe scuffling just a little bit to have a game like this is just a good all around deal for you guys.
Yeah, no question. We needed some guys to kind of break out, and Garrett Blaylock, he opens the season for us hitting in the 3-hole, and then all of a sudden he's in and out of the lineup. So he means a lot to us. We need him to be a run producer for us. So it's great to see that bat come alive today. We talked to him before the game, just about being more aggressive today, and he was. And I thought those two balls he hit, combined about 800 feet. So he took a couple really good swings. They had some good at bats too, and McAllister, Cheney Rogers, all those guys I thought had good at bats today.
And once again, some of these the young pitchers are getting an opportunity to get some early innings. And today, I thought Jaden pitched a little better than Liam comes in, does a good job, and as well.
Yeah, no, again with the guys that are on the shelf, now we got Michael Polkey through live today. Before we had batting practice this morning, he was really good. So that was encouraging to see. Jonathan Cannon is really close. So all of a sudden these guys start creeping back. We're able to get these freshmen this experience. So if those guys are all healthy, who knows how many innings these guys are getting. So to be able to put Jaden out there and Liam out there and Hank Bearden out there and Shane Marshall getting an opportunity, and you saw what kind of arm he has. So it's great for these guys to get these opportunities and learn and grow up a little bit quicker. And then when everybody comes back, it just makes our staff stronger.
Are you able to say when Polk and Cannon will be back yet? Is that still kind of wait and see?
We're hoping maybe mid next week.
Okay.
Next weekend, probably not. Michael Polk, maybe. But we're kind of looking at maybe middle of the week next week for our, I believe it's Georgia Southern, where both those guys may be available for 1 or 2 innings and then be available for the weekend against Lipscomb to get ready for the SEC. We'd like to get those guys on the mound a couple times before they get into the SEC.
Just one last question. Cote had to leave. Did he kind of pull something there in the first inning?
Yeah, just tweaked it, really minor. If this would have been a different circumstance, probably stays out there. But I didn't see it happen. But he pulled up a little bit lame, and Mike Dew, our trainer, just said, hey, he tweaked it a little. He's fine, but might not be able to go full go if we want to keep him healthy. So as soon as he said that, I said, come out of the game, because you can't put a restrictor on Cole Tate because he's going to go. So he doesn't know how to play half speed. So we just took him out just as a precaution, but hope he's back in the middle of the week. But I told him if it's still a little bit tender on Tuesday, that we'll just wait for the weekend.
All right, thanks, man.
Yep.
Jed May.
Hey, Coach. Just keeping in line with the offense, when you get contributions like guys from Cheney Rogers, Josh McAllister, Garrett Blaylock, I think was hitting either 5th or 6th today. Just how deep can that make your offense if all those guys start hitting to go along with the guys up at the top of the order?
Yeah, we really feel like that our lineup can be very good up and down and just tough at bats. And Connor Tate went 5 for 5 today. So we've got a lot of guys that we feel like can hit, a lot of guys that can have good at bats. When you get down to the bottom of the order and you've got Fernando Gonzalez and Cheney Rogers and Josh McAllister, that was 7, 8, 9 today. That's a really good 7, 8, 9. So, and we got a lot of guys that can do that. Buddy Floyd didn't start today, and he comes in and gets 2 hits right away. So it was encouraging to see the guys swing the bat the way they did today. And we feel like that we've got a lot of depth, a lot of options, and we're going to keep using that depth to try to keep us as healthy as possible as we move forward.
Davis Baker.
Hey, Coach, just want to get your thoughts on Jaden Wood's start. Seemed like, especially for the first 3 innings, he was primarily throwing strikes.
Yeah, I thought he was really good early, up to 94. It was mostly 91, 92, and touched a couple threes, and I saw a 4 up there. So that arm strength, the weather's heating up a little bit. You're starting to see the arm get a little looser, but threw a couple good breaking balls, which is encouraging, and that's the thing that he's still working on. Once that comes together and he gets a true 3-pitch mix, because he's got a very good changeup, then he's going to be very, very good. So great to see him go out there, and it's also – not a bad thing to see these guys struggle a little bit because they have to fight their way out of it. And if everything's really easy, it's cosmetic for, masking what's going to happen early on or later on, because we get in the league, it's not going to be easy. So nothing wrong with having a little bit of adversity. We want everything to go smooth, but, having some guys on base and maybe not making a play behind you or walking a guy, that can be good for these freshmen to help them grow up.
William?
Hey, Coach. Yeah, really pitching by committee today. Are you happy to rely on this, on the bullpen, on this relief staff, or are you missing maybe those longer starts that, Emerson and Cole brought last year? And then again, is this just a function of the young guys being out there?
I think it's a little bit of both. We're bringing the guys along a little slower this year, trying to build them up and not throw them out there for 100 pitches this early. It's still week 2. Ryan Webb was obviously on a pitch count yesterday because he's coming back, but he'll be up a little higher next week. CJ Smith is now, he's going to be able to go, 95 to 100 pitches if we need him to do that. He could have gone one more yesterday. We pulled him just for pitch count purposes. But to answer the second part of your question, yeah, it is kind of a function of how many guys we've got. We want to make sure we get them out there and get them experience. Those 8 freshmen that have thrown for us, it's invaluable for them to go in there in games, no matter what the score is, to go out there and get to compete and get that adrenaline and try to get themselves out of some jams.
And then finish up here with Paul.
Yeah, Coach. Obviously this is one of the first games that y'all really pulled away. How nice was it to be able to get some of those guys like Josh and Cameron and I'm forgetting a couple, Garrett, the Spikes in there. How nice was it to be able to get some of those guys in there, get them at bats?
Well, it's great. I mean, those guys work just as hard as everybody else, and they're good players. So, we've got a lot of depth, and, even, in front of those guys, we have guys that play. So that's the tough challenge that we have. We have a lot of players, and you're never going to keep everybody happy. And that's not my job, but it's to try to give guys opportunities. And when guys work and they compete and they're doing what they need to do in practice and in the classroom and in the weight room, then their opportunities are going to come a little bit quicker. And that's what you're seeing. Those guys that got in today, they've earned those opportunities. And I was glad they got in there and played well.
Thank you, Coach.
All right. Thanks, guys.